What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, checking out box number 3 of the MedicBox Pro subscription. If you haven't checked out my videos on box 1 and 2, definitely worth checking out, whether it's before or after viewing this video, as unlike most subscriptions where you just jump in whatever month you sign up, MedicBox is a sequential subscription, meaning that no matter when you sign up, you're going to start with box number 1. Each subsequent month, you'll receive the following box in the series, and over 3 months blocks, you'll build out these different dedicated first aid kits. Boxes 1 through 3 focus on a duty first aid kit. Starting with month number 4, you start building your vehicular first aid kit, and so on and so forth. There's also 2 tiers to this subscription. Your baseline standard MedicBox is going to be $55 a month plus shipping, or you can opt for the Pro for $100 a month plus shipping. Gets you all your standard items, but upgrades or supplements those with a couple more premium items, and either option gives you the option to add online monthly courses that are a collaboration with CTOMS Academy, I believe for $40 a month. Those are completely optional, but are going to teach you how and when to use the gear, so you can add that to either tier of the subscription. That being said, let's dive in, see what's in box number 3. As a reminder, box number 3 wraps up the duty first aid kit portion of this subscription. And so I will do a separate video showing all of the items from boxes 1, 2, and 3, standard and pro, showing the completed kit. I'll wait a couple weeks to publish that just in case people don't want to be spoiled on any of the individual boxes, but that will be something I show in the future. So here is our content list. If you want to read through that, feel free and pause, but I'm going to be referencing this throughout the video, going in the exact order that you see here. So on the front, we have our standard items. On the back, we have our pro, as well as information on that training academy. And so we'll set that off to the side and start with the first item on that list, which is the T3 rescue tool from Stat Gear. I do have a knife from Stat Gear, not this particular knife, but it's a brand that I'm at least somewhat familiar with. I think only one, but as usual, I already have everything out of the packaging, so you don't have to watch me fumbling with it. Does come with this hard nylon sheath to carry it in, button closure to keep it secured, and you can carry it on your belt in either a vertical or horizontal orientation. So really nice. This isn't going to take up any room in your kit. You can put it on your belt, you can strap it to your bag right next to the kit, or you can opt to not use the sheath at all, carry it separately. And so nice that you got that option. Inside we have this rescue themed multi-tool. And so it's got this soft rubbery grip, a lot of different grippy textured portions to it. And some of these items are going to be redundant with items, particularly in our Pro box. And so some of them are a little bit less redundant in the standard box. So really good that this is in here because it's the first time seeing some of those. So up front, we have this LED light, low light, it's kind of a lumen mode that's almost like a moonlight mode. It is low light, so maybe a nice backup to your pen light, not going to damage your night vision too much, and really simple operation. It's a single mode. You hold it to turn it on, and as soon as you let go, it goes off, and so no real chance of it accidentally turning on and staying on in your pocket unless something's constantly pressed up against that. So that's the kind of nice backup that's redundant for both our standard and pro box. Now this next item we don't have in any item in our standard, but is on one of the items in the pro, and that's a glass breaker. This one happens to be a spring-loaded glass breaker, so a little bit different than our other one, but really nice to get that item. It's also nice that it's one of these spring-loaded versions. You don't just have the sharp tip that's always on the bottom there if you're pocket carrying this. So I do like that option as well. Flipping it back around, we have a thumb stud deployed blade, and this is partially serrated, coated 440C liner lock with nice access to that liner lock, so really easy to pull out and deploy. And then if we flip it to the other side, we have a thumb stud deployed rescue hook or strap cutter, whatever you want to call that. And so that's really nice here as well. We also have a liner lock on that with even more access in the blade, so really easy to close that up. Round it out with a pocket clip, not ultra deep carry or reversible, but nice if you don't want to carry it in the sheath. We do have a spot for a lanyard hole here as well. It's a little bit thin for maybe 550 paracord, but you can put some thin cordage through there if you'd like to attach a lanyard. So overall, pretty solid item. A lot of redundancies with the pro item from the first month, but not a lot of new items for the standard box. The only item that's new to both the standard and the pro is, of course, that blade. And as a channel that's focused primarily on knives, not the most exciting blade, to be honest. I'm probably going to leave this out of my first aid kit entirely because all of the other items were redundant in the pro, and I'm always going to have a knife on me, sometimes more than one knife on me, that I'm going to be a little bit more excited about. But I think it's a great item for people who don't normally carry a knife. Obviously, not everyone who subscribes to MedicBox is someone who carries a knife. So solid item. I think people who are non-knife people are going to be perfectly content with it. In fact, I found this item on Amazon for I think $33, and there's nearly 1,000 reviews for it. I think 950 plus. Over 4.5 star average, and so people really enjoyed it. One thing I was surprised to see in the reviews is that a lot of like emergency departments, EMS, firefighters, and stuff like that were ordering these. One of the main reviews was someone who ordered 80 for their department. It was a 5-star review. So clearly people are pretty happy with this. Again, if you're a knife enthusiast, maybe less exciting, but still a great item that all of those redundancies that we're seeing in the Pro box aren't present in the standard box except for the light. Everything else was new to that standard box. So good item to include in that kit. Now next up we have an item from Rescue Essentials. This is the Quick Litter Light. This is a medical litter or stretcher, and so 10 handles on this, 4 on either side, and then 1 in the front, 1 in the back. This is made to evacuate someone who can't evacuate themselves. Don't have one of these yet. I've always just kind of thought like highly unlikely that I'm actually going to need this. Didn't pick one up, but it is a really great item to have. So it has a load capacity of 750 pounds, serves as a reliable stretcher for casualty evacuation, compact design, fits into most tactical pant pockets or bags, made of heavy-duty latex-free nylon webbing with 10 handles. And so don't think this would fit in the pockets of any of the pants that I own, but great item to just throw into a backpack or something like that. Also not meant to be included in the main first aid kit. This is just kind of a backup item that you drop in your backpack, or in their case, they say in tactical pants, but you're gonna have to have some pretty big cargo pants, even without this vacuum sealed packaging, to carry something this large, but still a really great item to have in a duty first aid kit. Now next up is a wound prep pack, also from Rescue Essentials. I don't know if they sell this separately normal, but maybe they bought this in bulk and then bagged them up for this. You get multiple of each item. I'm not going to pull each one individually out, but I'll tell you everything that's in there. It includes an alcohol prep pads, sanitary towelettes, BZK antiseptic towelettes, povidone iodine prep pads, and sting relief pads, and there's multiples of each in there. Usually you get these in first aid kits, but you can also buy refill kits. So if you look up like a wound prep pack refill kit, they also have like medication refill kits and stuff like that that expires, and so you can order those refill kits separately, and that's something that I normally do. So it may be something you can find separately, but either way, from Rescue Essentials, great, because we haven't gotten anything like that so far in the kit. Next up is the last item from Rescue Essentials, but one more item after this in the standard box, is our nitrile gloves, both size large. And so you get 2 of them. These will pair nicely with one of the items we received in box number 2. So glad that they ended up including them. Now I already filled that myself with some of my own nitrile gloves, but again, not everyone's already going to have those on hand. And so really, really good that they ended up including them. I'm glad they had the forethought to include those, since they sent us an item that goes with that in box number 2. Last up in our standard box is the CPR face shield. And so obviously you can do CPR without a face shield, but ideally you're not exchanging bodily fluids, so this will help you from keep you from exchanging bodily fluids, especially if the person's bleeding or something like that. You really don't want to get that in your mouth. So you'd be very grateful to have this in here. You do get 1 of those in your standard box. And that rounds out our standard box, but we still have our pro items. So I'm going to flip over to the back. First up, we get this Phoenix LD02 version 2. This is kind of your premium pen light. 5-year warranty on that, powered by a AAA battery. You have a 70 lumen light on there, as well as UV. So really nice kind of option. Also just a lot slicker design than our pen light in the standard box. And so you do have that pocket clip button on the back to deploy it, multiple modes. So if you just kind of rapidly click, you get into the higher and higher mode until finally you're in your high, and then you're into this UV mode, which probably isn't showing up that well, but it is on in that UV mode, and so that's going to be great for finding fluids and just seeing in the dark. So really nice. It's got a good form factor. You can put it right in that front pocket still. Fills up the hand pretty nicely, and easy with that tail switch to turn it on and off. Great looking pocket clip, great looking light overall. Haven't looked up how much these are, but I do have good experience with Phoenix in the past. I don't know if I've ever reviewed one on the channel, but I have a couple Phoenix lights that I've had for years and years that are still going strong. So happy to see this brand in there for sure. And again, AAA powered for that one. Now, last but not least, we have a drag strap kit. This is by Tactical Designs, and it comes in this Velcro pouch that carries it all nice and organized in there. And inside we have a heavy duty tactical drag strap that holds up to 1,500 pounds. I'm not gonna unravel all that because I don't wanna have to wind it back up, but we can look at the picture on the letter here. So it holds up to 1,500 pounds with a MOLLE pouch, perfect for first aid and casualty evacuation. Has a center D-ring and Velcro to show the midpoint of the strap to make it easier for placing over the patient. Durable, waterproof, and compact. So clearly this is for evacuation as well, similar to our litter. I don't know exactly how to use this, so I'm not sure if that's something that's going to come up in the CTOMS Academy or something I'm going to have to look up myself. But for the CTOMS Academy this month, it's on emergency bleeding control. Course simplifies the complex topic of massive hemorrhage control with and without modern tools. Covers circulatory anatomy, physiology, direct and indirect pressure, wound packing, hemostatic dressings, and bandaging. Coming up next is emergency bleeding control part 2, which is massive external bleeding is one of the most common causes of preventable and traumatic death. Part 2 provides a comprehensive overview of tourniquets. And so really cool, and that's what you get if you add on those additional monthly online courses. So great box. Again, I'm going to revisit this in a couple weeks, show all of the contents of that duty first aid kit. I'll try and kind of separate it out to show what you get if you subscribe to the standard for 3 months versus what you get if you subscribe to the pro, which will all be the items from the standard plus a couple additional items each and every month. And so let me know what you think of these down in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, joining the channel as a member. All help the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.